Everybody, this is Jerome Wright once again, and here you are joining me on my Jerome Wright YouTube channel here on YouTube. Okay, I have some very interesting information for you in this video, and again, this is a continuance of everything that I've been discussing in my previous, I think, 4 videos regarding Micheal Jackson, well, actually, pop culture artist Micheal Jackson, the self-proclaimed king of pop. Otto Dix, German artist, Otto Dix. Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album cover, which was done by and created by Mark Ryden. He's involved with this. And also, we're going to add to this list Elvis Presley, okay, and he's in here now too. All right. What's shocking about one of my revelations that I'm going to make here is that the fact that Elvis and Micheal Jackson died approximately around the same age, and their affiliation with these cult-like allegiances or alliances to that of ancient-rooted religion and ancient-rooted royalty seems to cause for a soul-sending mechanism to whereas your soul is sold to, so to say, to the devil, and therefore when it comes time to pay the piper, your time is up, whether you're with it or not. And the Beatles, who also are involved in this, they seem to still be around, but then again, they're rooted in Great Britain. It seems like the artists that were from out of there that went larger than life, the American artists, which was used as I like to say, the camels, the mules, the package carriers of these altered genes and genetics, the ones that seem to be American rooted, are the ones that actually gets the knife in the back, so to speak, like being the Judas characters, which get killed, get murdered. It's my position that this calls for an opening of a murder investigation into possibly something far more darker and far more beyond that of Micheal Jackson getting a lethal dose of medications, of meds, and or Elvis overdosing. There is something far more greater than and down below than what is happening, and it all begins now with them starting to look at everything that I'm actually bringing to the forefront. Now I'm going to start talking about I'm going to start with Otto Dix's, I think it's the 1926 trench warfare. Otto Dix's trench warfare. Now this, people, is a mirrored image, meaning that this is an overlayment of one image to another. Okay. Now, what's amazing about this is that this overlayment creates an image that appears in not only Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album cover, but it also creates a similar image which is appearing on the Beatles' Revolver album cover. So, I mean, there's an undeniable and uncanny connection here where I'm going to continue going, but it seems that something that was created here, genetic manipulation, there's a record here, created through the artwork of Otto Dix, begins to appear in the artworks and album covers of the Beatles, and then in the Jacksons, MJ's album covers. So, and it's talking about a pickup of genes, of contaminated genes, that were where there was a contamination process and a new gene created, stem cell manipulation, and created, and then sent out. And it began in Africa. Now, here I got Otto Dick's mirrored image up. Let me see if I can see this. I'm looking upside down. Here's one image here. This creates the face of a lion. There. Okay. Then the overall image creates the face of a Sabbatic goat, with these being the horns coming out here. This creates the horns. A Sabbatic goat. Then there's another creature that I'm going to keep coming back to that's involved in this. Remember, I keep talking about the reptilian ape, the reptilian monkey. About there being, you can see those scary eyes looking at you right there, can't you, people? Well, there's another set of eyes too that creates, where we at here? Oh, I got to turn it upside down. After this, I'll turn it upside down, and it creates that mask that is in, it's right here. I have to turn it upside down. It creates the mask of Micheal Jackson's, that is created in Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album cover. Now, there's a monkey. Remember, I was talking in all my discoveries, I'm talking about this reptilian ape, this reptilian ape, this reptilian ape. Finally, the closest thing to my description of the reptilian ape appears. And I don't know why I didn't look at this in the first place, but what caused me to look at this is because now I see where this appears on the Beatles' Revolver album cover. This creature. This is called the Mandarin ape. See the reptilian-like face on this guy? Now, amazingly, guess where else this ape appears? It has another ancient history. Let me turn this machine off right quick, people. I want to show you how these connections keep being made. This creature also appears, guess where at? And it makes for perfect logical sense. But he appears to be green, and he has that reptilian look about him. Guess where he appears at? He appears in the tombs of great Egyptian pharaohs as a reptilian monkey. So, glyphs on the wall has this creature with that of almost like an upright human-like stance, but he's green, representing, he repping in that glyph his reptilian state of being at the time of that great pharaoh, or well, before then the genes, which that pharaoh is telling you on the glyphs in the wall that he's carrying. So this ape, which I've got a video here on too, by the way, people, of those glyphs. And I'm talking about this reptilian ape, and now the evidence keeps popping up. And now on the Beatles Revolver album cover, they have this encoded in their Revolver album cover. Now, I'm going to take this down for a minute, and I'm going to turn this Otto Dick's painting back up, over. And this is a mirrored image, people. This is a mirrored image of the when you turn this back over from its mirrored state of being, it creates a headdress of an African headdress. And where's the eyes at here? I have them highlighted. And the face that appears, the mask that appears in Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album cover is right here. Is right there. And the eyes, I have it actually, the eyes there, and this is already a darkened image, so people, it's hard for you to see. But also in this mirrored images, off on either side are the hands, reptilian hands, that come in, and it's showing you that the African headdress is being crowned on each side. Now here's my hand here. Imagine me having another hand on that side coming in. There's reptilian hand claws showing you that it's placing a crown, a headdress on, at that point, an African leader at this point. And this is what this is showing you. That's why this is creating a face. Amazing. But hold on, I'm going to get you, because see, people, even if you didn't want to believe this, then all of this, you must admit, this Otto Dix was my lead to all of the other things that I am now describing. Because Otto Dix is what brought us to the Dangerous album cover, which I actually did a video on. So you have to see my other videos, and where I stated that this, just yesterday I stated that this was a reptilian ape. And now that I'm looking more and more closer to his, you can see what is being described here. I described the teeth. I'm not going to go back into detail because it's going to eat up too much time. But I want to show you a connection that a new connection that I made with this. Because Micheal Jackson in this album cover by Mark Ryden is discussing, you see this little monkey up here? How he now is wearing a crown covenanted by genes of this beast, crossed over with other creatures, including the lion and the goat. He's discussing that he was genetically contaminated by the Beatles. Which brings me to their Revolver album cover. Now, this Revolver album cover, which I thought that this was an ear. Yesterday I described this as an ear. This Revolver album cover, I described this here. Let me bring this in closer. In fact, let me bring that in closer. This is the Revolver album cover. Where we at? Okay, here we go. I'm going to bring this in closer right quick, people. Hold on. This Revolver album cover has a black object into the ear here. And now I see what that object is. I was talking about this Beatle guy had a black ear. This is the same image that appears on the earlier images of the American $100 bill. And I have a video on that as well too. This here, and I believe that's what, Ben Franklin on that. I got that before. Oh yeah, George Washington is on the $1. So Ben Franklin is on the $100 bill. So in the ear of Ben Franklin, the same object appears. You know what this is? It is a black dick. Meaning that they were genetically manipulated and black genes were extracted. If you look at the American $100 bill, dating back to we have a new one out now, but the one before that, and I have a video on this, so you have to see it because the mirrored image of that produces images similar to what I have here, people. So the American $100 bill is brought into this equation as well too, because this is a black dick, meaning showing you that these Beatles are boasting at this time that they were bridged over the black dick, meaning black genes. The penis, or the penile gland, was a way to discuss semen and blood altering, a genetic bridging over that of our ape and African ancestor. Now, remember when I was telling you that this ape, do I have a smaller image? Here's a smaller image of that, and this is a mirrored version of that Beatles album cover. And I'm probably going to have to reduce the size of it here. Look at this, people. This is an overlayment of that image that I just showed you. And look at here. Look at here. Look at here. Did I highlight this one? No, I did not. But this mandarin ape, our ancestor of the mandarin ape, appears This is his face, the outline of his face. This is his mouth, showing you that beetle in the mouth of the mandarin ape. And here's the cheekbones coming around the head. And there's the other beetle at the top in the forehead of the mandarin ape. There's a cross here. Okay, and there is a monkey right here. This monkey right there, and I'm going to bring that in closer for you to see. You see that monkey in there? Reminds me of, hey, it's the monkeys. All right. Well, hold on, people, because it gets better. It gets better because I need to go back to Micheal Jackson, whom I'm telling you that these people are implicating that they cross-contaminated. Now, that monkey is down here. Now, during the Beatles' carrying of these genes that began with my dear discovery of that of Otto, showing you a genetic contamination. Otto is describing it. The Beatles is describing it. These genes that were contaminated genes. Now, here's the monkey down here at this point at the bottom of the cross in the Beatles album cover. So this is where the genes are at. Now, this is a pyramid, people. A created pyramid now. A totem pole. Now, Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album is depicting at his point of being, or at his stage of creating that album, that I'm gonna bring Micheal out of there. Hold on. I'm gonna bring Micheal out of there, and then we're gonna go back up. Now, Micheal Jackson is showing that his contribution to all of this, now that monkey is taken out, showing you that the monkey is up at the top. So the monkey, where I started from the bottom, down here, is shown how through a genetic process, a manipulation process that began with the contamination, which is referenced by Otto Dix in his artwork, picked up by the Beatles, which is a representation of Great Britain, and then Micheal, through the body of Micheal Jackson, an altering took place. Now, look at how the mask of Micheal Jackson now has these reptilian looks to it. How the chair, or this chair here, represents the fangs of the monkey. His Dangerous represents the smaller teeth of the monkey, the open mouth of the monkey. And as I told you in the other video, that this is a representation of the penis. And also, it's a reference to Otto's. This is a reference of, hold on, let me tell you what that is. Let me take that down. That's a reference in that mouth, of that monkey's mouth. You see that monkey's mouth? Because that's a reptilian monkey's mouth. You know what's in this mouth? It's the ejaculatory gland of a penis. That device represents, and the triangle in there, which represents fertility. This is the ejaculatory gland of the penis. It shows you a manipulation, a contamination of a gene which was created. And it's like a seed, sort of, if you will. And it's showing you by Michael's face being behind that mouth, showing you that it was that ejaculatory. It's like a hypodermic needle, but it's a penis, showing you that Micheal took these genes into his mouth, into his body. Now, lo and behold, Otto Dix's painting of Dr. Herman, that device behind Dr. Herman also is a device symbolizing the ejaculatory gland, which Mark Ryden, who created Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album cover, stole the concept and the idea behind this. It is also shown in the Beatl album's cover as well. Now, Where are we at here? Let me go through some more images because I got to get to Elvis. How Elvis comes into the equation. I got to get to how Elvis comes into the equation. Now, is there anything else here we need to see? So the monkey down here at the bottom of the cross with the Beatles. Oh, by the way, people, the cross reference means the cross references of mankind's genetics with that of animal kind genetics. I've discovered that, I think, some 4 years or so ago, and I am the first person you ever heard state that that's what the cross means. So now I'm going to be forever famous for realizing just that this is what the cross means, the cross-referencing of mankind's genetics. The main cross-referencing point is that of in Rome, which is in the Vatican, whom is assisted by other nations, other great nations, where at the levels of royalty, of kingship and queenship, they are assisted, these genes are created, and the cross-contaminations begins, and they're sent out. Where are they sent out? To other portions of the world. The main place for these dumping grounds of these genetics is, guess where? America. These genes are purposely, and Africa, I'm sorry people, these genes are purposely pumped into areas. Oh, by the way, in tourist areas, main attraction areas. I've seen references of Jamaica in these encryptions. What's happening, people, is that they dump these genes at the lowest levels that they possibly can and at the highest levels, and somewhere in between there's a contamination that spreads like wildfire. It's like starting a small fire that grows into a big fire. So where do you start small fires at? At the levels of prostitution, where Johns come into play, where these genes that they dump into these prostitution levels, and in drugs, intravenous drug users. I also seen that in a reference in Otto Dix's painting, where it's shown where intravenous drug users were contaminated with these genes. People that carry these genes back to legitimate homes are the people that are targeted. Johns come out, frequent these prostitutes, and take these genes back home to legitimate families. The prostitutes have legitimate homes that they carry these genes back down to. Then at the top levels, governmental levels, there is nobody free of this contamination. They have a network that calls for the contamination where if you're not gotten one way, you're gotten another way. Then there's the food sources of this, where I've seen a reference. In fact, I just did a thing with dealing with McDonald's soda drinks. I just seen a piece of artwork that's stating that these contaminated genes are in there, which makes for sense because soft drinks would not be a drink that is subject to a hot temperature where these genes could be killed at a certain temperature, be cooked out at a certain temperature. So people, we have a major problem. Major. This is a global issue. Now, this image is an overlayment of. Could I turn this upside down? No. I'm gonna bring another one up. I gotta bring you Elvis. Oh, let me bring you that Mandarin monkey, and then let me show you this first. I'm gonna string you along, people. String me along. These guys got me wanting to sing. Now, guess what? How Micheal Jackson is also, when you mirror the Revolver album cover, this is another tie to Micheal Jackson. When you mirror the image of the Revolver album cover, Revolver, I hope I didn't say Revolution, it's Revolver. I might have slipped up and said that a couple of times. For some reason, I'm thinking of Revolution. But anyway, when you mirror the image, do an overlayment of the Revolver album cover. And by the way, when you mirror the image, people, it's like a disc. Let me take the disc. and a protractor, and then you spin the image around like that there, like on a protractor, and the images, one image stays still, and then the overlayment allows you to see through, is what produces the images. Okay, and my friend Mike has been assisting me in doing it. Now Mike wants me to go ahead and do that. Now somebody else offered me this thing about doing this download this app and do these mirrored images yourself. You know what, people, I'm already mind fucked enough with having a genuine experience and encounter. So I can imagine, I mean, I'll probably go over the deep end. The reason why I don't want to do that myself, because the way that I'm looking at these images straight up through my multi-dimensional sense of being, my eyes allow for me to see this shit anyway. So therefore, for me to go into those images, I mean, I'll be through. I'll fry my brain. So I stay away from that. So my friends like Mike and Chris, who actually, we got to get her back in the game here too. These people are people. Chris has a wonderful brain on her. She actually takes and have the information together for me. So this is my little small team that I hope that I'll have at the top here, because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is what is taking me over the top, because I got two professed kings, an icon, a British icon of a group, the Beatles, a famous German artist, Otto, and a famous American painter, Mark Ryden, all tied up into this. All these famous people. This video here is, I mean, it should go over the top. If it doesn't, then there's something wrong. We know that. But my point is getting the message out. And I always said that as long as I got one viewer, that I know that there's somebody else besides me that know the facts. And that's what's important to me. Now, the revolver lettering, when an overlayment is made, and Mike discovered this, it creates never, never. Read from the inside out. It creates never going that way and never going that way. So it creates two nevers. The only never, never that is appearing is in Never, Never Land of that of Micheal Jackson. And an image of one of the Jacksons, whether it's Micheal or one of his brothers, appears on the Beatl album cover, which I will show you in a minute. If I have that here. Where's Micheal? Oh, I don't have that here. But I showed you in my last video, and I don't know why I don't have that here. But also in the overlayment, a picture of Micheal or one of his brothers appear, and I did not bring it here in this video. I mean, I don't have the image printed, but I gave it to you yesterday in a video. So you have to go to that video I created yesterday. At the top, in fact, it might be in one of these. Let me see. So again, another connection to Micheal Jackson. When this image is revolver is mirrored and do an overlayment, it creates the words never, never, which means Micheal Jackson's Never, Never Land. Okay, where we at here? We're here. What else do I have here? Let me see what else other information that I have. Okay, the Mandarin ape. I showed you the Mandarin ape. Oh, okay, I have another image coming. The Mandarin ape, the small monkey, okay, which appears with Micheal Jackson. That's here on Micheal Jackson's album cover. I also showed you the mask. Okay, well, there's the mask up in here. I can show you the mask as well too. Elvis, the Beatles, the Jacksons, the Jackson 5 is implicated. Micheal Jackson is implicated. Okay, we have it. Now let me bring up this image, and I have to back off for this. Oh, this is great, people. It can't get much better than this. I bet you the kings and queens over in the Vatican. My friend told me that Chris told me that they fired all of that handles the Vatican Bank and brought them back. I think all of the cardinals that they say that was handling the Vatican Bank, and they only had one cardinal left there. I told her that should be worrisome, because you should watch for any erratic behavior of what is going on with the Vatican, because I told her the first thought that came to mind when she told me that that is what happened. I said, well, I don't think that that has anything to do with money. I said that I believe that that has to do with them recalling these people back is because you know why? They're afraid with so many cardinals being out there, one of them get kidnapped and somebody take a blood sample for one of their asses and the truth is out. Because what is going on now, I'm believing that there's a protocol. I'm suggesting that you're going to see a lockdown sort of behavior pattern, not just with the people, everybody that's involved with this. You're going to see them stop in their tracks and take heed to what my video messages are saying, because there's a protocol. So not only with the Vatican will be shutting down. Probably you'll see tours canceled. Shows canceled. You're probably going to see an erratic behavior behind the backlash of what I'm releasing here, which is normal. Because if what I'm stating is true, which it is, then those that cause for all of this are going to say, hey, you know what? We can't afford to let none of our hair particles get out. We can't afford to let, at all costs, your DNA must be protected. The only way you can protect your DNA at this point is go on lockdown. Everyone. So yes, you would call all of your cardinals back from the bank. It would be okay to give the appearance that there's improprieties in the funds or the way that the funds, the books were kept. Yeah, you would do that. You know why? Because that would be better than letting one of your cardinals' DNA get taken, and then the truth comes out and you're exposed for that. So yes, you would rather call the cardinals back, because you know why? There's a red alert. Jerome Wright has exposed us, and we must get our asses back to our monasteries or wherever we need to be on lockdown, because this is a high alert. You get it? You get the picture, people? Now, the next thing that we have is you're going to see the same erratic behavior with kingships and queenships. These people now that I've let the cat out of the bag about these genetic manipulation and genetic alterings, these so-called miracle babies, these genetic engineered babies, what's happening now, people, is that they're going to turn around and they're going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to have to push the damn black button. Yeah, we're going to have to push the black button. Look at this image, the mirrored image. I want to show you, if I bring you in close, I'm going to show you the teeth of that mandarin monkey there. Where we at? And let me come up higher. I want to come up higher. Here. The teeth are in here. That's one there. There. On this side, this is the mouth open up, and it shows you that Beatl is in the mouth. There's the lips of that mandarin monkey. Okay, there's a regular monkey there in this nose area right there. You know what, talking about noses, did I show you the diamond of the nose on that? I don't think I don't know what I did there, but anyway. You see the mouth? This is the mouth of the mandarin monkey, and it comes up here. All of this here, people, that reptilian looking nose bridge right there, you see that right there? All of this, look, people, is the same pattern, which is shown right there. All right there, coming up the center. That's, look, that skinny face inside of there. Where we at here? Right in here. There you go, right there. Now, people would probably want to argue and say that this is the nostrils of that. There you go, right there. You see that? All of that is right there, people. Look at this. Now, where are the eyes at, you're saying, Jerome? Well, the eyes are probably looking right in your face and you don't even see them. And I'm going to leave that up because I'm going to bring that in closer. There are your eyeballs right there. On either side, the mandarin monkey. And it shows a cross between his head. And the Beatles are saying, look, we were cross-referenced at several levels, pyramidal levels, with that African ancestor, which has that ancient rooted genetic connection to an ancient species that I've now linked to Egyptian pharaohs. This monkey, appearing in the color green, appears on the tombs of Egyptian pharaohs. And I have a video here on how I tied that monkey previously into the genetic altering of mankind, and this is what is written on the walls, and this is why I told Zawi, Hawass, and the other experts in antiquity over there in Egypt, they need to get their asses packed and get the fuck out of Egypt, because they don't know what they're doing. Or they're lying, purposely deceiving the people. Because nothing meant more to my ancestors, whom I'm paranormally linked to, than what their genetic identity was. And this is what is going on today. And this is the reason why I'm taking apart everything. Music, religion, ancient rooted royalty, everything falls down at my feet through my paranormal instinctive ability to bring this awareness to you. Everything is done. Everything. I don't care what it is. Everything is done with this. Oh, here's a crown in this image here. What else did I have? The Mandarin ape, reptilian ape. Okay. All right, we covered that base. What else am I covering on this? Here, I'm going to close this video up with this here. Oh, I didn't give you Elvis. Oh, damn it. Damn. Here go Elvis. I almost screwed up. Okay, people. The curtain fall is I'm going to give you Elvis. Again, I credit Mike for becoming involved with me, getting spiritually connected with me on this. I credit Mike for reaching out to me. Mike reached out to me. Let me tell you the story about me and Mike. Mike reached out to me on my alien UFO station, people, and I thought that something was wrong with him. If you know what I mean. Well, if there's not nothing wrong with me, but I was telling him that I didn't need anyone, and our story is written there too, by the way. And I was telling him that I didn't need anyone, this, that, the third, and he insisted on being in contact with me. And I mean, I came but so close. I believe that me and Mike's come together. Also with another friend of mine, Chris Daniels. That connection lately, I believe that these spirits of definitely Micheal Jackson, because Micheal Jackson spoke with me the other day, and again I'm going to reiterate that he told me that his children was in danger. Please tell my children they're in danger. So that message I put out here again, and I can understand why Micheal feels that way, and it's not just that, but everything which makes sense out of this. This explains why. Well, let me tell you. Here go Elvis right here, people. There go Elvis right there, and guess what he's inside of? There's a crown. This is also the Revolver album cover, mirrored in another way. This is the look. You see the Beatles down here. This is their hair. This is again a mirrored image of the Revolver album cover of the Beatles, and Elvis is in there. There's Elvis on other side, and guess what? Oh, there's no mistaking, because people, there's no mistaking this, because guess what Elvis is inside of? You got it. Elvis is the king, right? There's a crown. There's a crown. So you have Elvis's faces right here. There's Elvis' face there. There's Elvis' face here. I'm going to bring you in closer so you can see. I'm just going to highlight it so you can see. And Elvis's face is in a crown, and the crown has faces in it, showing you a genetic cocktail. You see that? I highlighted it right there for you. There's the crown. There's the faces of Elvis. appearing on the Beatles album cover. So why is that there? Now, we have two icons in music that are dead, died at their ages of 50, and the only survivors, the only witnesses left now are the Beatles. Now, what else is also real strange about all of this, because now we see that Elvis is in this totem pole, or this pyramid of genetic altering, which is created by that of ancient rooted religion and ancient rooted religion, and mysteriously dies, supposedly of a drug overdose. Then we have Micheal Jackson, who's married this king's daughter, which creates the more so presence. It extends or elevates that genetic presence, because Elvis's daughter would obviously have Elvis's genetics. So now Micheal Jackson is with that. So this is an elevation in this pyramid still going up. And then Micheal Jackson dies in a bizarre and unusual scenario, which is suspicious in the first place. And this is the connection of why. So now we have a murder investigation evolving around two professed kings of one of rock and roll, the other of pop culture. And the only suspects that we have and witnesses thereof are the Beatles, which are prime suspects to be interviewed now, and the ancient rooted royalty of Great Britain and those at the Vatican who actually created these genes. So people, the perfect plot for a murder has unfolded before your eyes here on my YouTube Jerome Wright channel. And it all began with not the auto thing, but almost 5+ years ago when something paranormally happened to me. And just like in a sense with Enoch, I was taken in an out-of-body experience, almost as if my soul was pulled from my body. I found myself looking back down on our world. And the only thing that I can recall from that, besides seeing me there and remembering that, the words that were spoken to me, is instinctively I knew they were spoken to myself, is don't turn around. And when I came back down to this planet, people, I was badass. I'm telling you, my story unfolded on alien UFOs. A normal person would have not ever been able to experience what I have experienced without going crazy. For me to be at this level now and doing stuff like this, and again, thanks to people that reached out to me, because I'm going to tell you something, it's tough being alone. So Mike, I thank you again. Chris, I thank you again. And I'm going to have a team, and you two people, I'm telling you right now, I look at having y'all on my team, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to have a team. And through my team, we're going to bring to the rest of the world everything that I've been witnessing and stating that is happening. This is almost like a bittersweet moment to me, because everything that I have been working on and been feeling is happening and unfolding right now with me, and I'm able to give it to you. So I'm going to put this video up, and I hope that none of this is going to be causing for a trigger of my YouTube channel to get shut down and this, that, and the third. I'm hoping that everything is going to be okay. So you guys take this video and keep playing this video out. I'm telling you right now, if you want to know the truth, if you're not a part of this and don't have knowledge of this, people, you should be scared to death. You know why? Because if you're not a part of this, that means that you are a victim of this. I'm talking about everybody in ancient rooted religion and ancient rooted royalty. These are the only people that are benefiting from this, and those that they use as their goats are their mules, are their carriers of these contaminated genes, utilized to contaminate other nations. If you're not a part of this, then that means that you are on the outside and you should be on my team. People, I'm telling you now, send this video viral. And on that note, I'm out of here, and I hope I don't get shut down on this. So if you don't hear no more about this, then you can catch me. Go to my Facebook page. I'll be there, and I'll just keep posting my videos there until I can find another outlet. I'm also on alien UFOs as well too. So people, stay in tune, stay in contact with me. I'm also on Google. I'm on a couple different outlets: Twitter, the blogger. You know what I mean? So I'm on a lot of different outlets, and these videos are going everywhere. I'm in Pakistan. They're playing me in Pakistan. I got 5-star rating over there. People, get on board, get on ship with me. I'm telling you that right now because I am paranormally linked. And it's not just here what's going on with this. I can show you where this is happening in the so-called heavens. Thank you. I appreciate your viewing. A soul sending mechanism to whereas your soul is sold to, so to say, to the devil, and therefore when it comes time to pay the piper, your time is up, whether you're with it or not. And the Beatles, who also are involved in this, they seem to still be around, but then again, they're rooted in Great Britain. It seems like the artists that were from out of there that went larger than life, the American artists, which was used as I like to say, the camels, the mules, the package carriers of these altered genes and genetics, the ones that seem to be American rooted, are the ones that actually gets the knife in the back, so to speak, like being the Judas characters, which get killed, get murdered. It's my position that this calls for an opening of a murder investigation into possibly something far more darker and far more beyond that of Micheal Jackson getting a lethal dose of medications, of meds, and or Elvis overdosing. There is something far more greater than and down below than what is happening. And it all begins now with them starting to look at everything that I'm actually bringing to the forefront. Now, I'm going to start talking about, I'm going to start with Otto Dix's, I think it's the 1926 trench warfare. Otto Dix's trench warfare, now this, people, is a mirrored image, meaning that this is an overlayment of one image to another. Okay? Now, what's amazing about this is that this overlayment creates an image that appears in not only Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album cover, but it also creates a similar image which is appearing on the Beatles' Revolver album cover. So, I mean, there's an undeniable and uncanny connection here where I'm gonna continue going, but it seems that something that was created here, genetic manipulation, there's a record here, created through the artwork of Otto Dix, begins to appear in the artworks and album covers of the Beatles, and then in the Jacksons, MJ's album covers. So, and it's talking about a pickup of genes, of contaminated genes, that were where there was a contamination process and a new gene created, stem cell manipulation, and created, and then sent out. And it began in Africa. Now, here I got Otto Dix's mirrored image album cover. This creature. This is called the Mandarin Ape. See the reptilian-like face on this guy? Now, amazingly, guess where else this ape appears? It has another ancient history. Let me turn this machine off right quick, people. I want to show you how these connections keep being made. This creature also appears, guess where at? And it makes for perfect logical sense. But he appears to be green, and he has that reptilian look about him. Guess where he appears at? He appears in the tombs of great Egyptian pharaohs as a reptilian monkey. So glyphs on the wall has this creature with that of almost like an upright human-like stance, but he's green, representing in that glyph his reptilian state of being at the time of that great pharaoh, or well, before then, the genes, which that pharaoh is telling you on the glyphs in the wall that he's carrying. So this ape, which I've got a video here on too, by the way, people, of those glyphs, and I'm talking about this reptilian ape, and now the evidence keeps popping up, and now on the Beatles Revolver album cover, they have this. This is Jerome Wright once again, and here you are joining me on my Jerome Wright YouTube channel here on YouTube. Okay, I have some very interesting information for you in this video, and again, this is a continuance of everything that I've been discussing in my previous, I think, 4 videos regarding Micheal Jackson, well, actually pop culture artist Micheal Jackson, the self-proclaimed king of pop, Otto Dix, German artist Otto Dix, Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album cover, which was done by and created by Mark Ryden. He's involved with this, and also we're going to add to this list Elvis Presley, okay, and he's in here now too. All right. What's shocking about one of my revelations that I'm going to make here is that the fact that Elvis and Micheal Jackson died approximately around the same age, and their affiliation with these cult-like allegiances or alliances to that of ancient rooted religion and ancient rooted royalty seems to cause for it. Let me see if I can see this. I'm looking upside down. Here's one image here. This creates the face of a lion there, okay? Then the overall image creates the face of a Sabbatic goat, with these being the horns coming out here. This creates the horns, a Sabbatic goat. Then there's another creature that I'm going to keep coming back to that's involved in this. Remember, I keep talking about the reptilian ape, the reptilian monkey, about there being, you can see those scary eyes looking at you right there, can't you, people? Well, there's another set of eyes too that creates, where we at here? Oh, I got to turn it upside down. After this, I'll turn it upside down, and it creates that mask that is in, it's right here. I have to turn it upside down. It creates the mask of Micheal Jackson's, that is created in Micheal Jackson's Dangerous album cover. Now, there's a monkey. Remember, I was talking in all my discoveries, I'm talking about this reptilian ape, this reptilian ape, this reptilian ape. Finally, the closest thing to my description of the reptilian ape appears. And I don't know why I didn't look at this in the first place, but what caused me to look at this is because now I see where this appears on the Beatles Revolver